But let's get started with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get started with the recap of the Philadelphia Eagles game against the Las Vegas Raiders. The first time the Eagles have ever played in Las Vegas. The Eagles have played the Raiders a few times, but this was quite an episode of the series known as the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, the first drive by the offense and the first drive by the defense, they get A pluses. They get A pluses. If I was a teacher and I was grading the Philadelphia Eagles, they would get A pluses right there. But then the rest of the game, I would give them a number within the negatives, because that's just how poorly they played. And the fact of the matter is, the Eagles are coming into this game, and again, there were opportunities for success. There are opportunities to do great things. But when you go out there and you don't play well on defense, you allow Derek Carr, I think he threw like 20 consecutive passes at one point. It was embarrassing. Like he was chalking the team up and down the field. And again, the Eagles did their thing when it came to wide receivers. They didn't really give up many big plays to wide receivers. But then when it came to the tight ends, when it came to there was that wheel route by the fullback, when it comes to stopping the run, they just couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it again. And you're not going to win football games if you can't stop the other team. If the other team goes into the red zone and you can't stop them, you're not going to win the football game. And it's questionable at a certain point in time. Derek Carr, he's not the best quarterback in the league, but he chopped the Eagles up. He was able to do whatever he wanted to do outside of like one play. He was able to do whatever he wanted to do. And the Eagles have two really good cornerbacks, and they don't use them correctly. The Eagles, yet again, they went into another draft and they didn't make the linebacker position better, and we're seeing the results of that, just complete from the front office, completely ignoring the linebacker position, even though it's a very important position when it comes to stopping the run. Like the defensive line, they can't do it. We're playing too far back. We're not putting a safety into the box. We're not comfortable doing that. So you're essentially asking 7 guys to do a job that they just can't do. It's just not working. And that is the crux of why the defense is so poorly run. And it's why the defense just needs a complete overhaul. We need to stop messing with these free agents, because the defense just needs an overhaul. And I don't even know if Jonathan Gannon is the right guy for the defense. I just don't know if he is. With the offense, I mean, more this time than just as many other times. Once you make Jalen Hurts the focal point of the offense, he just fails to do anything. Before like the middle of the third quarter, I think he was like 7 for 15 for like 100 yards, and that just shouldn't be happening. That means that there's just a collapse in what's going on. I mean, the first drive, you don't make Jalen Hurts the focal point, and the Eagles were able to easily get down the field and score a touchdown with Gainwell. But then when you move away from running the football, I understand Miles Sanders got injured, and I don't expect him to play for the rest of the season. When you take him out of the equation, and now the Eagles are going back to pass. Jalen Hurts is not going to be successful like that. Jalen Hurts isn't like a Kyler Murray where he's successful running the ball and passing the ball. He's not like Dak Prescott, who's got pinpoint accuracy, and he does have the weapons on the outside and the inside, but he's also got a great game plan that allows him to use his strengths in order to win the football game. With Jalen Hurts, he's essentially what everyone claims that Lamar Jackson is. He's just a running back who can throw the ball. And that really sucks to say, and I'm not going to be one who stands up here and says, I told you so, because that's just not the kind of person that I am. That's not the kind of person that I want to be. I used to be like that so much. And we haven't really seen all of Jalen Hurts yet. But, if I was to make, a prediction in this instance, it would be that, Jalen Hurts wouldn't be here next year as a starting quarterback. I think that a big mistake was, and I said this back like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, the big mistake that was made was by trying to make him the leader of the offense, and he's just not a leader. I said that he talked the talk, but he couldn't walk the walk. And if you can't walk the walk as a quarterback, then you're just not good. The guy has 3 wins in his career. And, I'm going to be talking about, a lot of the people who are still saying, give Jalen Hurts more time to develop. If so facto, we drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, and, we shouldn't have. It was a reach. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. But as far as things are concerned, the offensive weapons aren't working well. Guys who should be able to get open are not getting open. You go away from your original game plan of running the football. It's so weird that this always happens with this team. Like, when you go ahead and you see something that works, the coaching staff just immediately gets away from that and immediately pretends that it never happened. And it is one of the most frustrating things as an Eagles fan just to watch, because you're like, I shouldn't be able to think that I can do a better job coaching than the head coach is doing. First drive for the defense, right? First drive for the Raiders. There was a play where it was 3rd down and like 5, and it was one of those plays where they weren't able to get the first down, and it was a holding penalty, and the Raiders players, the offensive players, were running off the field. And you were thinking like, okay, decline the penalty because it's going to be 4th and 3 at around the Eagles' like 43-yard line. That's a punt. That's a play where you're going to punt and trust your defense. And the Raiders players were running off the field, and then Sirianni was like, no, I'm going to accept that penalty. And what did they end up doing? The Raiders ended up getting a long first down, a long pass. And these are the mistakes that you just sit here and just fester in your brain. And I shouldn't be able to think to myself, Hadoy, you decline that penalty and let them punt. They're running off the field. You just gave them another shot. Another play was where it was clearly obvious that Hunter Renfrow did not catch a football that was ended up spotted at the 1-yard line. Sirianni should have thrown the red challenge flag, and it should have been one of those things where they was incomplete and they would have kicked the field goal. Now, would that have really mattered in the end? I don't know. Was it worth a timeout? I mean, we wasted our timeouts anyway, so what does it matter? The way things are pegged down for this team, as at the lowest common denominator, the way you know that this team isn't successful, they turn the ball over more than they get turnovers. And number 2, they cannot run in the red zone. They can't do it. It's not working. And I'm sick and tired of seeing leaders like Jason Kelce throw his helmet off in frustration, getting penalties. I'm sick and tired of bad snaps by Jason Kelce, who should be a leader on the team. I'm sick and tired of getting to the 1-yard line and turning the ball over. It should not happen. That's how you know that this team is bad and completely undisciplined. Because a good team wouldn't fumble. A good team would know how to get that into the end zone. But it's worrisome when, you're not even confident that the team can do it in the first place. And I can't wait until this old guard of guys who just because they have longevity on the team and just because they're fan favorites, they think that they're safe. No, I can't wait till Jason Kelce's gone from this team. And I know that's completely blasphemy to say. I think Jason Kelce is a good person, but dude, the team blows and you're talking about Ben Simmons. I mean, come on. You can't shotgun snap. You haven't been able to shotgun snap for 4 years. You just don't know how to do your job. And that sucks to see for a guy who just 2 years ago we thought could have been a Hall of Famer. And you're just not. You're just not. You'll be on the Eagles Ring of Honor, but I mean, I'm just speaking honestly. Like, you're not a good center anymore. And I'm not saying that the Eagles can do better, but you're just very overrated. That just shouldn't be happening. A guy like Gainwell fumbling, okay. I mean, he's a rookie. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you put him in a situation like that. He fumbled. It was his fault. He fumbled. But he's not a 10-year veteran. Long snapping or snapping the ball when it shouldn't be snapped. It shouldn't be happening. And it's just frustrating from this team where we've been at the 1 yard line a few times and we haven't been able to punch it in. It's completely frustrating, and that's what the team should be getting back to. The team should be getting back to fundamentals, and it's very clear that, the Philadelphia Eagles were one of the most undisciplined teams last year. They obviously haven't worked on their fundamentals because they're one of the most undisciplined teams this year.